Hello everyone. Today Gupta will going to explore how Pixar, one of the most successful animation studios in the world, and managed to stay creative again and again. Pixar movies are known for strong stories, emotional depth, and original ideas, but behind every movie, there's a powerful culture that helps teams work together and think creatively. And the lessons, culture from Pixar aren't just for filmmakers, they are also useful for us as students, especially when we work on group projects or develop new ideas. On our first key point is ideas can come from anyone. At Pixar, they don't rely only on the top leaders or the most experienced people to come up with the best ideas. Instead, they believe that great ideas can come from anyone on the team, no matter their position. This means interns, new employees, artists, or even someone from a completely different department can contribute something valuable. Why? Because creativity often appears from unexpected places. For us in college, this teaches an important lesson. Never limit where ideas come from, and when we do group work, or brainstorming, or planning a project, we should listen to everyone. Sometimes, the most surprising idea becomes the best solutions.
First, Pixar builds a safe place for honest and respectful feedback. The studio uses the famous brain trust, a meeting where directors and storytellers openly discuss what works and what doesn't. The goal is not to judge people, but to improve the final project. In many group projects at school or in companies, this approach can be seen as well. Teams encourage open comments so that idea can evolve and the final results become better than before. So feedback are essential if anyone wants to improve and of course evolve. Second, Pixar treats mistakes as a normal and usual part of creation. Early versions of their movies often look very different from the final product. Characters change, scenes are rewritten, and entire storylines are removed. This process shows that creativity grows through multiple drafts and constant adjustments. In many real-life situations, like preparing a presentation or designing a marketing campaign, mistakes also act as a step that lead to a better outcome.
At Pixar, the most complex challenges in animation are never solved by a single person trying to outshine everyone else. Instead, success comes from teams working together where the shared goal of creating something amazing replaces the desire for individual glory. Imagine a team of engineers, artists, and storytellers are competing against each other for credit. The result will be disjointed mess of rejected ideas. But then they collaborate. The engineer helps the artist bring a difficult concept to life. The story artist refines the sequence based on the engineer's feedback, and the final film becomes something far greater than any one person should have achieved alone. You can apply this directly to your academic life. Instead of viewing your classmates as rivals, see them as collective brain trust. For instance, when facing a difficult research project, forming a study group allows you to divide the workload with each person becoming an expert on a different aspect. One person research might perfectly fill a gap in another's, and during team brainstorming, a seemingly silly idea from one member can spark the perfect thesis statement in another. This collaborative spirit doesn't just make the work easier, it creates a final product that is richer, more thorough, and more innovative than what any of could have produced a competitive silo. You push each other further by building up, not by trying to climb over one another.
This commitment to choosing collaboration over competition is fundamentally about shifting the team's mindset from a collection of I to a unified we. It actively dismantles the silos of individual ego by making the shared project itself the film, the product, the final goal, and the final ultimate priority. This is perfectly embodied in Pixar's brain trust meetings. where the sole purpose is to solve the story's problem for a collective good, not for any single person to prove they have the best idea. The environment is structured to ensure that every critique is offered as a constructive gift to help a peer, not a weapon to win the debate. This cultural framework unleashes a powerful dynamic. It creates psychological safety for team members to share their role. Okay. This cultural framework unleashes a powerful dynamic. It creates a psychological safety for a team members to share their raw, unpolished ideas without fear of being shamed or having them stolen. When people are not in competition with one another, they stop hiding their early stage concepts and instead actively build upon each other's contribution. This cross-pollination of ideas, where the strengths of one member actively compensate from the weakness of another, is what transforms a good project into an extraordinary and innovative one.
Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful and surprising ingredients in Pixar's creative recipe: balancing structure with creative freedom. You might think groundbreaking creativity like Pixar's happen in total chaos. No rules, no deadline, just pure imagination running wild. But that's not how it works at Pixar. Instead, they've mastered the art of guiding creativity. They use structure, things like schedules, milestones, storyboards, and clear production pipelines to keep projects moving forward. But here's the magic: they never let structure kill the spark. Pixar makes sure there's always room for individual to flourish. A storyboard artist might suddenly have a breakthrough idea during a review. A junior animator might suggest a character's gesture that changes the entire scene. And because Pixar values those moments, they are not shut down, they are celebrated. It's this structure to provide direction and freedom to allow discovery that lets Pixar consistently turn great ideas into legendary films.
Point 7 is to seek out challenging perspectives. Pixar knows that a room full of agreement is a creative dead end. They intentionally assemble teams with diverse backgrounds to stress test every idea. A different viewpoint isn't a criticism, it's a tool that exposes blind spots and reveals stronger solutions. This principle is vital for any team. The goal is to move beyond an echo chamber. Inviting someone with a completely different skill set to review your work can transform a good project to an exceptional one. Challenging perspectives are essential for innovation. So, what's the big takeaway from Pixar's success? Creativity isn't a lucky accident. It's the direct result of a specific culture, one that we all can build. It's a culture where every voice matters. Feedback is constructive, and failure is a necessary part of the process. It's where we collaborate instead of compete, balance structure with freedom, and actively seek out different perspectives. These aren't just rules for making great movies. They're a blueprint for how we can do our best work together in college and beyond, even more than that. So let's stop waiting for inspiration to strike. Let's start building environments where creativity can thrive. That's all from Group 3. Thank you for your attention, and we're open for any questions you may have.